This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, and right now we're in a lull between the storm or before worst parts of the storm come. Last night, a lot of flooding, but John's going to tell us exactly what's going on right now. John?
Yeah, we have a few scattered showers around, but you're right, Don. I think the heaviest of the weather will come a little bit later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. Let me show you what the Hurricane Hunter aircraft have found as they've kind of investigated the system. Right now, winds are up at 60 miles an hour, which is a significant increase from what we saw yesterday at this hour. And if you missed it, the tropical depression is now a tropical storm, Hermine. In fact, a significant tropical storm. Some models think that maybe it might even reach minimal hurricane status before making landfall up around the northern Gulf Coast. Wind speeds are about the same as they were at the last report, that is 60, but the forward speed has almost doubled. So it's starting to make that beeline with its eyes set on Apalachicola as a most likely landfall location, or maybe a little to the east, maybe a little to the west, but within that zone outlined there in red certainly is where the most likely location for any kind of strong tropical storm force or minimal hurricane force winds will be felt. Notice that all the cloud cover is on one side of the storm. The other side is all dry air, not raining there. That's because it's still being sheared. There's still dry air on the other side, and all of this on the eastern quadrants of the storm kind of headed toward the state of Florida, especially our coastline. So we are in for some more heavy rainfall. As far as the forecast track of the storm, that kind of remains unchanged. But all of that moisture heading in this direction promises us later on today another 2 to 6 inch rainfall, and maybe even more than that. And boy, did we get hammered yesterday. You know, we were with you during those morning hours and during those afternoon storms as well. Over 10-inch rainfalls in some location. Sarasota Airport got 7.76, just smashing the old record set in 28 of just a little over 6 inches. So some impressive rainfall yesterday. More on the way. We'll talk about that in a few. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at roadways, and roadways obviously underwater a lot yesterday. A lot of it has dried up, but there are still issues to talk about. Right there you see 1st Street and 301 just passable at 41. In fact, the roadway is clear according to Florida State Troopers there. Also, as you move down south a little bit, more on 41st, 41 and 1st Street, the road is closed at 44th Avenue. The connector there, that is still closed. And then as you move down State Road 70 and 4th Street, the road is closed as well. So be aware, roads are drying. Schools are out, though, so in Manatee County. So you don't have to necessarily worry about that as you're don't have to worry about getting your kids to school as you're moving in Sarasota County, where the schools are still open today. So be aware of that, but there does not seem to be any worries right now on the roadways for Sarasota County. Now, topping our news this morning, we're continuing to follow Tropical Storm Hermine, as John just talked about.
Governor Scott has now declared a state of emergency in 51 counties, including right here in Manatee and Sarasota. The declaration means 8,000 members of the Florida National Guard are ready to be deployed whenever necessary. Today, he will be monitoring the storm at the State Emergency Operations Center in Tallahassee. Once Scott gets a weather briefing from the National Hurricane Center, he will speak at a conference to specifically address the storm's potential to further impact the state of Florida. Scott is expected to speak around 11:15 this morning.
And we want to remind you that all Manatee County District schools will be closed today because of Tropical Storm Hermine. They do plan to open tomorrow, Friday, but right now they are monitoring the situation. It all depends on how today goes. So we will update you. Stay updated with ABC7 or on mysuncoast.com or on our Facebook page for any changes to the Manatee County schools for Friday. But they are closed for Thursday today. USF Sarasota Manatee and the State College of Florida have both announced that they will be closed as well today. Schools in both Sarasota and Charlotte counties will be open. Sarasota County School District officials say if parents do not want to send their kids to school or are unable to, then there will be no penalty for their child's absence. And Manatee County government offices will also be closed today.
Yeah, county employees were sent home yesterday and have been asked to take necessary precautions for their families. The land use meeting planned for today will be rescheduled. Manatee County Emergency Operations will have a level 2 partial activation beginning at 7 this morning. Staff will hold a briefing at 10 a.m. Public safety officials ask that anyone who needs weather information not to call 911 and instead call the county's Citizens Information Center line. Instead, the number is on your screen there.
As we mentioned, it's a little bit calmer than it was last night for sure. Taking a look outside right now after torrential rain yesterday, Adam Cellini is out there.
He is. ABC 7's Adam Cellini is now joining us live from the Bayou Oaks neighborhood in Sarasota with the latest on the storm's impact so far. Adam.
Yeah, Rebecca and Don, I am out here in the Bayou Oaks neighborhood. Now, last night, several residents had to be evacuated from this neighborhood. There are a number of canals that run through and behind these homes. And right now, I'm standing in a couple inches of water near one of those homes, having a little trouble draining. Now, as Don mentioned earlier, a lot of the water has subsided around here. Those canals have gone back down to normal levels, but they are flowing very quickly. And if there is rain later today, I'm sure several of these residents will be keeping a very close eye on their roads because the infrastructure out here is just at capacity. Now, we mentioned those residents were evacuated. Some of them had the opportunity to go to the nearby Robert L. Taylor complex. Several ended up possibly staying with friends, as we reported last night. But right now, in terms of weather, the rain is it's drizzling out here. It's not too hard. The biggest nuisance is really mosquitoes, which is another thing people definitely have to mind this morning and throughout the day with all the standing water around here. I've been getting bit all morning. There are a ton of mosquitoes flying around in this area, so be very careful. But we'll be keeping a close eye on the water levels on neighborhoods like Bayou Oaks out here throughout the morning and bringing you those updates. For now, live in Sarasota, Adam Cellini, Rebecca and Don, back to you.
Thank you so much, Adam. Yeah, and be aware that the mosquitoes are out there. If you have to go outside, definitely wear some mosquito repellent. Zika virus is always on the mind. Right,
and to see him out there and it's so calm, and to be driving in today and think, wow, nothing, it was almost like a normal rain
it's
last night.
It's almost eerie.
To know that what peril everybody was in last night in certain parts of the counties. You know, it was amazing.
Definitely more to come. So drivers hitting the road in Manatee County today should definitely take some precautions, especially when you drive along US 41.
The screen on the left is showing the flooding on El Conquistador Parkway and 14th Street, or at least where it was. And there you go on the left now. Yesterday, a lot of flooding. Today it has cleared. That's 14th Street West and 53rd Avenue, also 57th Avenue in Bradenton yesterday. Roads were like swimming pools for the cars as you see driving through them. It's a live look at Tamiami Trail on the right before Cortez Road, and nothing doing today. Very calm, very amazing, and still we don't, the impending storm could make it like it was on the left, not on like it was on the right, and there are still signs indicating water on roadways, flooding in certain areas. With more rain expected today, conditions will get worse, and emergency management officials always stress that people should not go through standing water like this, whether you're driving or walking. You have no idea what is underneath the water there. And according to the numbers, you have a 70% higher chance of getting into an accident while driving in the rain and the flooding, and AAA is advising these drivers about that.
Yeah, you have to check your tires before getting on the road and make sure they're properly inflated. Avoid those flooded streets, reduce your speed, and give more room to those driving around you.
A new roadside assistance service is offering some safety reassurance to Florida bicyclists.
Yeah, starting this month, the Bicyclist Roadside Assistance Program is providing aid for stranded cyclists and broken bicycles. The service is aiming to improve safety for motorists and cyclists in the case of bicycle emergencies. AAA members can call and receive on-site pickup near roads or parking lots to be given a ride with their bike anywhere within their service coverage. Now, Florida Power and Light has been working overnight to restore power in several counties across the state.
Here on the Suncoast, there are currently 66 homes without power in Manatee County. Sarasota County has 91 outages, while 13 FP&L customers are currently reporting outages in Charlotte County.
And nearly a dozen residents in North Sarasota have evacuated their homes after 2 nearby creeks began to flood.
Police and emergency responders waded into knee-high water to knock on doors in the area of 40th Street and Old Bradenton Road. We talked to one woman who said she saw the water starting to enter her lanai and she knew she was in trouble.
I looked out the back window and my backyard was flooded, and the water was 3 feet from the door.
And the Red Cross and staff at the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex are working together to provide the temporary shelter we told you about, but all of those who left their homes chose to stay with relatives or friends. And the Emergency Management Center in Manatee County has been activated now.
Oh, yeah. With all the flooding, emergency management officials were out at the facility taking calls from and giving information to residents. And as you can imagine, phone lines stayed very busy yesterday. We spoke with the Manatee County EOC chief. This is his advice to residents.
Pay attention to the weather. Tune into the news. Ask about what's going on before you start making decisions. If you don't have to go out, stay home, stay off the flooded roads. As you saw today, we've got a tremendous amount of flooding going on. If more rain comes, that's going to be challenging for us.
The county has been giving out sandbags to residents over the past couple of days, but there's no decision yet on whether they'll be available again today. Still depends on how the weather plans out or comes out today, and if it will be safe for officials to be handing out those sandbags during the rainy weather. You can get them in Sarasota County. They'll be available at Newtown Estates Park, Twin Lakes Park, and the South County Fleet Facility in Venice from 9 to 6, and we'll obviously keep you up to date on whether or not they will be available.
It's important.
Yes, and another reminder that we do have a lot of storm-related information and updated closures on our website.
To keep track of all the latest developments on the weather, you can get updates on the tropics and the Suncoast forecast 24 hours a day. Log on to our website, mysuncoast.com, to keep track of all this. You can also download our app and monitor our Facebook and Twitter pages, and especially in a time like this, social media has exploded with how you realize how important and what we did before social media in times of turmoil like this.
Stay up to date. I mean, everything changes so quickly. It was so great last night to get so many push notifications from our app, finding out about when the state of emergency was issued and all of that. And you've been giving us so much up-to-date information.
Important to have you. Yesterday morning was just crazy. I mean, it was so crazy.
Changed so
Pinellas
quickly.
County and Manatee County, it just tons of rain falling. I was looking at some of these stream flow gauges that we have across the area, and one river in particular in Sarasota County went from, they put the gauge in the water and see how much water races past it, from 5 cubic feet per second in one place in a 12-hour period to 500 cubic feet per second in a 12-hour period. That's how much rain is trying to get back out into the Gulf waters. Yeah, it's amazing. More forecast details coming up in a few.
All right, also coming up, coastal cities bracing for another round of storms from Tropical Storm Hermine as it continues its path towards the Panhandle. We'll have what you need to know coming up. Stay with us.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory. It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Get ready, college football fans. When you buy a $5 or more Fantasy 5 ticket and enter your team's drawing, you could win great prizes like team merchandise, tickets to your team's games, and other bowl game experiences. You could even win a championship weekend prize pack in Tampa or $10,000 cash. Fantasy 5 from the Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So I think that the second half of today will probably be the worst weather day of the week in terms of winds and rainfall. Although yesterday in isolated locations was pretty darn heavy. I think more people will see rainfall today than saw it yesterday. Might not come down quite as hard in isolated locations, but then again, it might. Plus, we have a threat of tornadic activity a little bit later on this afternoon as well. We'll be watching for that. 77 degrees the air temperature, dew point 73, east wind coming in at about 10. Not too terribly bad right now. Those wind speeds will be increasing as we head into the second half of the day. Still have some showers around. Nothing like it was yesterday morning with those heavy storms we were tracking in Manatee County and Pinellas County, but still, we're seeing some pretty good rain falling, coming up basically out of the south, headed north. These storm systems that you see offshore, not a big issue for us, but the ones that are onshore certainly producing some fairly heavy rain. We had driving rain over the interstate that's kind of subsided just a little bit, but do be careful from about Fruitville Road down toward Clark Road on the interstate. There may be some slick surfaces there because of recent rains in the last half hour or so. More heavy rain across the Myakka Basin, and in fact, virtually all of our rivers have some type of flood warning for them. And if you are planning on spending some time this weekend at the Myakka State Park, boy, you may want to revise that idea. The forecast is for it to already exceeding flood stage, but well exceed flood stage by the time we get to Saturday morning because of the kind of rains that we're seeing here. And in fact, exceeding to the point where a lot of the park usually closes when it gets that high. So you may want to adjust your plans. These showers, as I mentioned, out in Gulf waters, a threat to mariners, but obviously mariners don't want to be out in the waters today. Nevertheless, these storms will stay out in the Gulf for the most part, maybe clipping Anna Maria. Here's what we're worried about. A lot more rainfall sitting out there in Gulf waters. And even though that didn't look so bad on radar, it's only because it's so far away from the radar. If it were closer to the radar, it would be lit up a lot brighter. TD number, well, it's actually not TD now, it's Hermine. It continues on a track that takes it right up toward Apalachicola. Now, the thing about this storm that concerns me is the amount of rainfall that's possible with it. These are forecast wind speeds, and as they head up, you can see we're really not in a zone that includes a lot of threat for strong tropical storm force winds for us, though the winds will be increasing as the system makes landfall. Most of the core of the strong winds stay north of us, so that's good. But we certainly could get some wind gusts a little bit later on at times of high tide. They come after 1 o'clock this afternoon, and then again, they come after 1 o'clock tonight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So we'll be watching those two high tides most particularly. These are gusts, and you can see we get some gusts that are fairly significant out of the south against our beaches as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, particularly coming in perhaps some 35, maybe 40-mile-an-hour gusts in some thunderstorms, certainly possible. Now, as those winds are strong onshore, if they coincide with the heavy rainfall, then you got a problem, and we may see some coastal flooding as we head into 2 o'clock hour, depending on how much rain we have around at that moment, and then particularly during the evening hour. So we'll be keeping a careful eye on that time frame. Plus, some of the storms that develop during that time frame may be rotating cells, as we saw yesterday, that could possibly contain some tornadoes. Gusty winds, real tough going out there on the waters. Obviously, stay in port. Rip current's a big problem. Surfers, you know, probably not a good idea to be out there today, right? The winds are going to pick up a little later on this afternoon. Rain chances excellent today and tomorrow, then a little bit better over the weekend. Back to you.
Thank you, John. We're keeping a close eye on the roadways this morning at 5:20. There are some Areas that you should be aware of right now, it is just passable there at 41 at 1st Street and 301, the intersection as you come out off of the Manatee Ave Bridge there, the DeSoto Bridge. Be aware, though, there are some roadways that are prone to more flooding, at least in Manatee County especially. We are seeing some areas to be aware of. No road closures at this point in the morning, but right now at 57th Avenue West, there is some flooding in the roadway. Use caution there. Again, at 1st Street and Martin Luther King Avenue East, the roadway is now clear there in Bradenton. Cortez Road West at 41, there is water over the roadway there. 53rd Ave East at 4th Street East as well. State Road 62 at 39, which is the Bowling Green area, there is water in the roadway east and westbound. And at Morgan Johnson Road and East State Road 64, the intersection there is flooded. Use extreme caution. In Sarasota, all the roadways are pretty clear at this point in the morning and easy going, as well as on the interstate. Just again, be aware to stay out of that standing water, especially because it can flood and pool very heavily there and can get deep for your car. So far so good, but just take some precautions on the roadways. Well, if the rain will hold off in the next couple of days or not get too bad, you might want to have some fun this weekend and plan ahead to get to Englewood.
Yeah, Englewood didn't see as much rain as up north in Manatee County. Labor Day weekend is the biggest weekend of the year there. ABC 7's Linda Carson tells us why.
Englewood has a proud history. It was settled by William Goff and his family back in 1878. Then in 1956, Joe Cortez started the Pioneer Days Festival the weekend of Labor Day.
She started it because things were slow in Englewood over the summer months, and she wanted to give the businesses an opportunity to display their wares, be part of something fun, and then people in the community just needed something fun to look forward to.
Turned out it was a big lift to the spirits and the economy, so it's been going strong ever since. It starts Saturday morning with the cardboard boat races in Indian Mound Park. Saturday night, there's the shipwreck dance.
We're inviting everyone to have a party with us in Englewood. Live bands, music, food, all kinds of fun things right on the edge of the water.
Sunday morning kicks off with the Kids Fish-a-thon,
which is at the Tom Adams Bridge, 8 a.m., free for children 12 and under. And then we have the Diaper Derby at the Lemon Bay Women's Club at 2 o'clock.
And the festival party goes from noon until 9 p.m.
We have booths, we have food, we have a lot of live music on the stage, local musicians as well as some musicians coming down from Sarasota. We're featuring Kettle of Fish on Sunday night.
Labor Day starts off with an 8 a.m. fun run.
At 9 o'clock, we start our parade. It'll come down Old Englewood Road, and it will go to Dearborn Street, and our festival will last until 3 o'clock.
There are 2 car shows, an open car show Sunday and a Corvette show Monday, both featuring cars from 1956, and a rockin' kids zone.
The free area set up just for kids with arts and crafts and yard games, and again, it's all free for the children.
The Pioneer Days Festival means a lot to the people of Englewood. It's an opportunity to show everybody the special things about their hometown.
A lot of wonderful people, great places to shop and eat, wonderful beaches, but more importantly, it's our home, it's our hometown. And I think people need to come and see what a great hometown we have.
Pioneer Days in Englewood. It's the biggest thing happening on the Suncoast this Labor Day weekend, and one of the biggest things happening in the entire state of Florida. So get on down and have some old-fashioned fun. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
If you find yourself looking at your phone for long periods of time, you may actually be boosting your health. We'll explain coming up.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
US Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, US Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with US Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call US Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results. Or a meter so small, it fits on the bottle of strips.
Act now, and US Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call US Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Welcome back. It's 5:26, and this is something that goes against everything we've been told so far, but new research is suggesting that staring at your phone may be healthier for you than you think.
And if you do enough studies, you'll find whatever you want in that
Exactly.
study. ABC's Diane Macedo and Devin Dwyer have the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, why staring at your smartphone all day may not be all that bad for you after all.
Researchers say apps focusing on improving diet and physical activity are actually good for you. They say programs with goal setting and self-monitoring features are most effective.
Samsung has unveiled its newest smartwatch.
The Gear S3 does not need a phone to send text or track your location. That's unlike other smartwatches, but pricing hasn't been announced.
You can now get up close and personal with your Instagram pics and videos with the newest feature for iOS devices, Zoom. But some users say they're disappointed.
That's right, the image resolution doesn't change as you zoom in. The quality just gets worse. Instagram won't say when or if it will fix that.
A lot of people want to know if that feature's going to come back.
Instagram,
At least
zoom it in, baby.
The puppy looks cute in both. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites. Brought to you by Serta.
Imagine a kind of comfort that's unique to you. Serta did. Introducing the Serta iComfort Hybrid Sleep System. The first hybrid mattress that combines advanced coils with our triple action gel memory foam. For comfort that cradles, supports, and cools you. The all-new iComfort Hybrid Sleep System. Get a free box spring or save up to $800 on iComfort. Visit Serta.com today. Serta, always comfortable.
Oh, wow. What kind of underwear are those?
They're breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
Wait, Fruit of the Loom makes breathable underwear?
Yeah, they have tiny holes to let the air through, but...
Yes! I love them.
Stay cool with breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom. Allergy medicine not working? Try Nasacort for effective relief. It relieves the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion. It's non-addictive, scent and alcohol-free, and has no harsh taste. For 24-hour allergy relief, Nasacort.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease a new 2016 Lexus ES350 for only $329, or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
On air, online, and on your mobile device, this hurricane season turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. And that keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Temperatures on the Suncoast are rising and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. You'll feel cooler than ever when you drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999 or take home a stylish new Jeep Renegade for just $17,999. How about a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999? Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419, or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, continuing to track Tropical Storm Hermine. We'll have the latest developments on the storm.
Plus, another phone scam making the rounds in Florida, why the Department of Elder Affairs is now getting involved.
And if you plan on visiting the Ringling, you may be digging a little deeper into your pocket. We'll tell you why.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan along with John Scalzi. John, the man of the hour, because the storm is has been unpredictable.
Everybody in this building has been just performing way out of the charts.
Working around the clock, making sure you know what you need to know.
And you know what? We are very lucky here on the Suncoast. I have to say that because if this storm were 100 miles east, the bad flooding that we had yesterday would have been 5 times worse. It would have been just exasperated. We could have had 25-inch rainfalls.
And it was bad in spots. That's amazing to think, because we had record rainfalls, didn't we?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we had some places on the Suncoast that got 10-inch rainfalls, and certainly in Pinellas County, they got huge amounts of rainfall over a wide area. But we had some isolated pockets in northwest Bradenton and also in Anna Maria Island that got some 10-inch rainfalls from individual reporting stations. But then the official reporting stations even got over almost 8 inches of rain, you know, at the airport. So 1928 hasn't seen anything like it.
Wow, that's incredible.
Big rain. And again, today we have a chance of seeing more rain showers around. Most of our area rivers are at or close to flood stage and will exceed flood stage most likely, leading to some minor flooding as well. So we continue to monitor the situation. Let's take a look at the latest from the Hurricane Center. Hermine is still a 60-mile-an-hour tropical storm, significant tropical storm, heading up toward, well, we'll call it the Tallahassee area, Big Bend region, Apalachicola, somewhere up in there, most likely. 60-mile-an-hour winds, moving faster now, northeast at about 12 miles per hour. That's about double the speed recorded at the last observation. Notice all the cloud cover on one side of that storm. That's all headed for the west coast of Florida, most likely up toward the heaviest rainfall over the next couple of days, the Big Bend region. But still, we're getting our share again today, I think. Some of the storms could be strong, perhaps rotating cells that could produce, again, the potential for some isolated tornadoes, certainly some heavy downpours. Big storms in inland areas have kind of subsided just a little bit now. We're looking at light to moderate rain falling most places east of the interstate, but there's some more out in Gulf waters that could clip areas of Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island as we head into the next, say 30 minutes, 45 minutes as they make a trek up to Pinellas County where they really don't need it. This is what we're going to be watching for, the threat of severe weather a little bit later on. We're in a marginal risk zone, the higher risk to the north of us, but still, we're going to keep an eye to the sky. Complete details in a few.
Thank you, John. And obviously all that rain, flooding, causing roadway issues. But right now, here's what we have in Bradenton. 57th Avenue at 41, there is flooding in the roadway, but the roadway is open. All the roadways that were closed yesterday have been reopened, but there is still water in certain places. Cortez Road at 41, water over the roadway, so use caution there. 53rd Avenue, which is State Road 70, and 4th Street East in Bradenton, there's flooding there as well. State Road 62 and State Road 69, the Bowling Green area, there's water in the roadway both east and westbound. And Morgan Johnson Road and East State Road 64, the intersection is flooded, so obviously use extreme caution. Try not to drive through big pockets of standing water or walk through them. Obviously, you can avoid it. Sarasota County is looking good. Actually, on the way to work this morning, both Rebecca and I didn't encounter any kind of flooding or standing water. But do be aware that things will change throughout the day.
It's still very slick.
Everything is inundated already. Topping our news this morning, we're continuing to follow the storm.
Yep, Governor Scott has now declared a state of emergency in 51 counties, including Manatee and Sarasota. The declaration means 8,000 members of the Florida National Guard are ready to be deployed whenever necessary. Today, Scott will be monitoring the storm at the State Emergency Operations Center in Tallahassee, and once he gets a weather briefing from the National Hurricane Center, Scott will speak at a conference to specifically address the storm's potential to further impact the state of Florida. He is expected to speak around 11:15 this morning.
And we want to remind you, Manatee County schools are closed today. As far as tomorrow, we will let you know throughout the day. They are monitoring the situation. Sarasota County schools, Charlotte County schools are open today. And as the day develops, we will also let you know the news from them, what happens, any changes. And as far as tomorrow, we'll keep you posted on that as it comes available. And USF Sarasota Manatee closed today as well. So be aware of that. Both schools announced that they were closed. However, schools in both Sarasota and Charlotte County are open. And Sarasota County School District says they will, you don't have to send your kids to school. There will be no punishment if they don't come to school, if parents don't feel safe getting them or can't get them to school.
And classes canceled at State College of Florida as well.
Yes, thank you. And now, topping in the other news, we're following the tropical depression hitting the Suncoast. Of course, tropical storm, excuse me, but Adam Cellini is out there in the midst of it.
He's joining us now live with the latest on this storm. We're definitely seeing heavy flooding there. Adam?
Yeah, Don and Rebecca, I'm at the Bayou Oaks neighborhood here. It's in North Sarasota, and I'm standing in about ankle-deep water just outside of a home here in Bayou Oaks. Last night, several residents evacuated from their homes by emergency responders after the rain caused some of the canals and creeks that run through this neighborhood to overflow their banks, flooding the area. Now, a lot of that flooding has gone down this morning. They got a little bit of a break, it seems, from the rain overnight. But as you can see, some spots, including this property, have a long way to go in terms of letting that completely drain. And with more rain on the way, it's certainly a concern how much more this neighborhood can take. Really, the infrastructure is about at capacity. I looked at some of those canals driving up here, and the water is flowing very quickly. It has gone down probably 2-3 feet in some areas below the banks. Some areas a little closer, more like 1 foot near its banks. And like I said, if it rains a little more throughout the day, I'm sure several of the residents here have to be a little bit concerned. Now, some of them evacuated to friends' homes, some evacuated to the Robert L. Taylor complex. But yeah, keeping a very close eye on it out here. Now, one thing we do want to mention, we mentioned it earlier, is that with all this standing water, especially in this kind of swampy area, a lot of mosquitoes out here, and I'm getting bit up. They're flying all over the place. Be very careful leaving your home near standing water. It is a huge attraction for mosquitoes. They're out already right now. If you can, dump that water out, but I know we're expecting more rain later in the day. We'll be bringing you more updates from around the Suncoast later this morning. For now, live in Sarasota, Adam Cellini, Rebecca and Don, back to you.
Thank you, Adam. And yeah, the standing water and concerns about mosquitoes and the Zika virus is something new for us this hurricane season. Something we didn't have to deal with before, but definitely try and get rid of some of that standing water as much as you can around your home.
There's going to be a lot of standing water around today, for sure.
And a place we've seen heavy flooding affecting people is on Holmes Beach. They had to deal with flooding yesterday on Anna Maria Island.
It didn't take long for streets to fill up quickly, and these shots were national because of the weather. Everybody in the country was seeing this. At one point, it got so bad on Gulf Drive, the police had to close the road. The flooding also led to a sewage leak. Holmes Beach police are reminding people not to drive on flooded streets with more rain expected today. Residents are being warned to take precautions as the storms roll in today. Obviously, the ground is already saturated, so any rain we get is going to continue to flood. This is a live look from Holmes Beach, just off of Gulf Drive. Right now, still some ponding on the roadway, so drivers should be cautious. And obviously, that's going to continue throughout the day.
Yeah, taking a look statewide, the worst is still yet to come as Tropical Storm Hermine makes its way northbound. As we've already seen, the outer bands of the storm have already flooded parts of the Gulf Coast.
And just north of the Suncoast, roads have turned into rivers in Tampa. Several families have been evacuated from apartments in Largo, where it's an all-out scramble at the sandbag depot. 7,000 sandbags were filled in Largo yesterday alone. On Cedar Key, up to 5 feet of storm surge is possible. City Hall now boarded up, and residents putting furniture on cinder blocks. Some oil rigs in the Gulf have also been evacuated as a precaution as the storm gains strength.
And a reminder that we do have a lot of storm-related information and updated closures on our website for you to keep track of all the latest developments on the weather. You can get updates on the tropics and the Suncoast forecast 24 hours a day. Just log on to our website, mysuncoast.com. Also, download our app and monitor our Facebook and Twitter pages. We are sending out push notifications through the app so you can get the information you need to know immediately as it comes in. Well, campaign 2016 again rolls through the Suncoast. Republican vice presidential candidate Mike Pence rallying at the Hyatt Regency in Sarasota yesterday. But Tropical Storm Hermine threw a wrench into things for them.
The Trump campaign moved up the event from 4 to 2 yesterday afternoon, but the VP candidate was still delayed by weather. Pence finally addressed the crowd an hour later and thanked them profusely for braving the elements to be at this event. He touched on the strengthening of the economy, the future of the Supreme Court, the importance of national security, and our integrity as a nation. And of course, he addressed illegal immigration, pointing out the plan still stands to build a wall.
I sum it all up in 4 different ways. It's really about security. It's about prosperity. It's about the Supreme Court of the United States. And it's about the standards of integrity in public life.
I'm just a grassroots activist that goes canvassing, walking, and calling and mailing out and handing out information to as many people as possible.
Hermine also affecting the Clinton campaign's schedule of events because the VP candidate Tim Kaine canceled his stops in Pensacola, Panama City, and Jacksonville. They were all planned for today and tomorrow, areas that are expected to get hit even harder by the storm.
The Florida Department of Transportation plans to hold a public meeting tonight on improvement plans for the intersection at State Road 64 and White Eagle Boulevard. FDOT considering options on using a signalized intersection or a roundabout at the intersection. This meeting will be held tonight from 5 to 7 at the FDOT Manatee Operations Center on East State Road 64 in Bradenton.
The Department of Elder Affairs is warning Florida residents about another phone scam making the rounds. The department says they are receiving reports of calls from people claiming to be from the department or a senior services organization. The callers ask for personal information, including credit card information, for payments like funeral insurance, and they then defraud the victim of these calls. The Department of Elder Affairs will not solicit payment over the phone, they assure you. If you receive any such phone call, just hang up.
Well, the John and Mabel Ringley Museum of Art is going to cost a little more to visit. This week, the museum introduced a separate $10 admission fee for visitors taking a self-guided first floor tour of the Cottazon. That tour used to be included in the $25 or that used to be, rather, included in the $25 general admission fee. However, the general admission fee will remain at $25 and then add that $10 on. Tickets for after-hour programs also went up from $10 to $15. The museum says it hasn't raised prices in over 10 years, and with many new exhibits, it needs to do so to maintain upkeep.
Price adjustment. Last night in the rain, the Bucks were supposed to play tonight, but they moved the game up to last night because of the storm. Really rainy during the game. More people on the field than actually in the stands. Hardly anybody showed up, and the Bucks lost to the Redskins. Yes. So they did play. They played through the rain, but
I
nobody.
did watch a little bit of TV,
if they play a football game and nobody's there to watch, does it actually make an impact?
Even if they are there to watch, is it making much of an impact with the Bucks?
Oh,
that was mean.
The $4.
So a couple of things we're going to be watching today. We're going to be watching times of high tide for abnormally high tides. We're going to be watching the storms that roll through later in the afternoon for the potential of some severe weather, including some isolated tornadoes. And we're going to be watching, of course, rainfall totals. Again, we'll detail that for you in just a few.
Thank you, John. And depression is considered a common mental disorder, but researchers fear many of those suffering aren't getting the help they need. We'll tell you more about that in Health Smart.
What does it mean when New South Window says factory direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Attention! This is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Get ready, college football fans. When you buy a $5 or more Fantasy 5 ticket and enter your team's drawing, you could win great prizes like team merchandise, tickets to your team's games, and other bowl game experiences. You could even win a championship weekend prize pack in Tampa or $10,000 cash. Fantasy 5 from the Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, the most important data value on these current conditions to me is the wind speed right now at about 10. Not too terribly bad, actually, coming out of the east-southeast. That'll be shifting more to the southwest as we head into the afternoon, and that wind speed will get close to tripling, I think, as we head into the later afternoon hours. Yeah, right now we still have some showers around. Nothing like we had yesterday, though. The heaviest of the rain remains offshore. As we mentioned in the last half hour, showers are approaching areas from Upper Longboat Key, Holmes Beach, Anna Maria. Probably going to get clipped with this cell. Not a real heavy one, but it certainly could slow your morning commute. But otherwise, I don't think you'll have much of a problem with this particular band of rain. More showers over Myakka right now, but again, this is light to moderate stuff over mostly unpopulated areas. Then out in Gulf waters, we have a large cluster of showers and thunderstorms. Yeah, that's the one I'm kind of concerned about. It's the one wrapping around our storm. And the motion of this storm, watch as we put this map into motion, you can see the explosion of shower and thunderstorm activity and the kind of little bit of a turn to the east. Yeah, that last couple of frames there is the heavy thunderstorm cells surrounding Hermine that is gradually moving up to the north and to the east now and will bring that heavy weather to parts of the west coast of Florida. Hermine has 60-mile-an-hour winds moving to the north-northeast now, a little easterly direction there at about 12 miles per hour, accelerating just a little bit, according to Hurricane Recon Fixes. By Friday, early in the morning, it's forecast to make landfall perhaps as a Category 1 minimal hurricane up around Apalachicola. Boy, if it took this exact track, which is unlikely that it will, but if it took that exact track, that would be the worst possible place for Apalachicola. 5 to 8 foot storm surge would be possible there. It would be bad. It's far away from us, remains far away from us. So too does the wind field. It stays over land, reemerging on Saturday off the South Carolina coast and then heads out to sea. For us, well, the core of those strong winds should remain well offshore, but as this system makes landfall, as hurricanes or tropical streams make landfall, the wind fields tend to expand outwards. So during the evening hours tonight and maybe even during the early nighttime hours, we might see some tropical storm force gusts across our region, and we'll certainly see our wind speeds start to increase. Don't be surprised by that if the winds feel like they're getting a little bit windy, maybe even kind of howling just a little bit as we head into the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock hours. 25-mile-per-hour sustained winds can sound a lot worse than they are as they roar through your attic. But it's not going to be a wind issue for us. One problem with those winds, though, is that they will be driving up against our shoreline. That'll create a rip current issue. It'll also create high tides. High tides now running around a foot above average. We could be 1 to 3 feet above average, depending on how strong the storm gets, and that could create some coastal flooding. East wind shifting south, 35-mile-an-hour gusts possible as we head into the evening hours. We'll look for better conditions as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
Thanks, John. As far as your commute right now at 5:52, taking a look at the roadways, Palmetto, the bridges are clear at this point in the morning. We are seeing a little bit of a slowdown. It's a little red at 41 northbound, just between State Road 70 and as you approach Cortez Road. So be aware of that. Obviously, Manatee County roadways have seen the most flooding from yesterday. It looks like things have kind of cleared up at this point, but we do want you to be aware that at State Road 62 and State Road 39 in the Bowling Green area, there is water still in the roadway east and westbound. So just be aware of that. Take your time on the roadways this morning. They are still very slick, even though the rain has calmed down at this point in the morning. In Sarasota, no major slowdowns there on 41 or the interstate, even as you head into Venice and South County there in Northport. So far, so good for your commute if you are traveling at this early hour. Well, in health news this morning, depression. It's one of the most common mental disorders in the U.S. In 2014, 15 million adults suffered from at least one episode of depression, but many in the U.S. are not getting the help that they need.
Researchers at Columbia University Medical Center and the University of Pennsylvania looked at data from 46,000 adults. They found that less than a third of adults who screened positive for major depression received treatment for the disorder. The study also found that some people who were being treated for depression might not be depressed at all. Data indicated that among those receiving treatment for depression, 2/3 did not report symptoms of serious psychological distress.
Times like this, when you've got this type of rainy weather all the time, for some people in different parts of the country, they say depression is at a higher rate. Thankfully, we get sun most of the time, so that helps.
And weather does definitely affect your mindset.
All right, well, stay with us.
And we'll be right back.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Civic for $174 and no down payment, just $174. Get great clearance deals now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
I'm Alan Cohn. Tropical Storm Hermine felt here on the Suncoast. Roads are flooding, winds are high, and residents are taking precautions. We'll have live coverage.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Accord for $189 and no down payment. Just $189 or 0.9% APR. Get great clearance deals now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Welcome back, John. What do we need to know right now?
We're going to tell you more in just a few minutes, but basically we are waiting for more showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Some of them could be strong. Some gustier winds a little bit later on today as our storm increases in strength and makes landfall during the wee hours of the morning. And we'll be also looking at the wave condition.
Oh, wow. Okay. Stay out of the Gulf then. Even you surfers
Yes.
out there.
I know.
Stay out.
There's a lot of them that'll want to be in there.
And they will.
Well, it's 5:57. We'll be right back.